Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Waking the Tiger, Healing Trauma. Do you have anxiety, insomnia, depression, or any other similar symptoms? If you frequently experience these symptoms, they may indicate that you have suffered from some traumatic events in the past. We all will experience some mental anguish in our lives, and sometimes we will be traumatized. Growing up, perhaps you experienced domestic violence, humiliations in your intimate relationships, or sexual harassment at work. These situations can seriously harm our psychological well-being. Even minor slip-ups, let alone major car accidents and natural disasters such as floods and fires, can leave us with psychological wounds. And these are very difficult to heal. If it is injured, your body will heal by itself. But when the mind is wounded, finding a remedy is a challenge. Doing nothing may cause sustained damage. Being afflicted by trauma is akin to being trapped in a dark confined room without sunlight or any means of exit. We will stay in this tiny uncomfortable room, constantly tormented by our traumas, unless we take effective measures to heal ourselves. This book Waking the Tiger shows a way out, telling you how to harness your body's healing instincts to treat trauma. The author Peter A. Levine is a world-renowned trauma healer teaching in hospitals and pain clinics in Europe and the US. He holds PhDs in both medical biophysics and psychology and has nearly 50 years' experience researching and treating stress and trauma. He was a stress consultant for NASA during the development of the U.S. Space Shuttle program. Due to his innovations in body-psychotherapy, he received the Lifetime Achievement Award from USABP. Dr. Levine founded and developed a therapeutic methodology known as Somatic Experiencing. It is a practical solution to trauma that crosses cultural barriers, and he has provided somatic experiencing training around the world. Dr. Levine has written many psychological books that have contributed substantially to science, medicine, and popular science. They include In an Unspoken Voice, How the Body Releases Trauma and Restores Goodness, Trauma and Memory, Brain and Body in a Search for the Living Past, Trauma Through a Child's Eyes, Awakening the Ordinary Miracle of Healing, Trauma-Proofing Your Kids, A Parent's Guide for Instilling Confidence, Joy, and Resilience, and Freedom from Pain, Discover Your Body's Power to Overcome Physical Pain, and several others. This book is immensely popular among readers, and it is one of Dr. Levine's best. In the book, he presents somatic experiencing, a therapy derived from his research experiences over 25 years. Through this innovative method, Dr. Levine has healed hundreds of trauma patients to help them lead fulfilling lives. To continue, we'll uncover this book for you in 3 parts. Part 1, What is trauma? Part 2, The physiological basis of trauma. Part 3, Somatic Experiencing, a body-oriented approach to support energy release. Let's begin by taking a look at what constitutes trauma. When it comes to physical wounds, we all know that accidents are often the cause. These are an inevitable part of daily life. For example, if you fall on the sidewalk, you get a graze. But when it comes to trauma, you may not be sure what caused the trauma. In trauma, our psyche is injured by an external event. The stimulation causes us to develop anxiety, insomnia, depression, or other symptoms. Although trauma is a relatively new concept for many people, it is nevertheless quite common. How do we identify trauma? We need to start with the symptoms of trauma and the cause, a traumatic event. For a start, let's consider the symptoms of trauma. These are myriad. Due to their various life experience, different people don't display identical symptoms when suffering from trauma. Previously, we mentioned anxiety, insomnia, and depression, which are some typical signs of trauma. But people without trauma may also present these symptoms, so these cannot be described as core symptoms. Drawing on his 25 years of research experience, Dr. Levine has identified trauma's 4 core symptoms present in almost all traumatized people. These are hyperarousal, constriction, dissociation,